Welcome to Carp's Corner. On the heels of this phenomenal NFL Divisional Round, it was absolutely tremendous. Anybody who sat here and watched, which I guarantee you when the numbers come out, it's going to be a lot of people, had to love what they saw. NFL, it is a multi-billion-dollar business, tens of billions of dollars every single year pour into the coffers of the NFL. Why? Because the advertisers like it and they're willing to advertise and pay a lot of money. Well, why are they willing to do that? Because when you watch the games on Saturday and Sunday and you see the theater, the cinema, how compelling it is, that is why it is one of the few things now that isn't DVRable. And so if you can promise advertisers and your media partners that you can get people parked in their chair for 3 to 3.5 hours without really leaving, and they're going to be glued on it, that's worth a lot. It's worth its weight in gold. And when you have 3 games, all decided by a field goal, and the fourth decided by overtime, all good until the very last drop. That is compelling. People love it. I'm here for it. I sat in and watched all of them. And here's the best part. You can stream these things. People are watching them now, at their kids' games on Saturdays and Sundays. You're watching when you're driving around. Whatever you have going on, there's an avenue and ability for you to watch NFL football right now. And so as they continue to expand and Amazon gets more involved, a lot of these big tech companies, there's a reason why. Because as soon as these numbers come out, we'll probably talk about in the next episode what the overnight ratings were, for some of these games. Because my goodness, if Dallas and the 49ers, averaged about, 40 million, I think touched close to 50 million people last week. These games right here, they've all got to be in that 40 to 50 million person window. And here's the best thing the NFL has going, and this is what separates it from every other sport, is the fact that you have Cincinnati and Nashville, ultra compelling game. You got Joe Burrow. Everyone loves this guy. That's one of your games. People are tuning to watch. It goes down to a game-winning field goal. Absolutely fantastic. You have the Niners and you have the Packers. San Francisco, big traditional market in California, huge city. Yeah, we got that. It makes a lot of sense. Packers, Green Bay, they're a national brand, the smallest market in the NFL, but you have a superstar quarterback. That game's doing huge numbers. Rams, Bucks, LA, second biggest TV market in the country. Tampa Bay, small TV market, not a ton of history, but you have Stafford out in LA. You have all the glitz and glamour. They got Odell Beckham Jr. They've been to the NFC Championship, been to the Super Bowl. This will be the second NFC Championship in the last 5 years. You've got Tom Brady now in Tampa Bay, defending Super Bowl champs, doing a huge number. I guarantee you that second half, man, people came swarming back in to their televisions to be able to watch it. I, for one, was one of them. You're like, it's just going to happen. And we'll get into all that in the game and break that all down. And then you get into the Chiefs and Bills. Kansas City, Buffalo, 2 small markets. Buffalo, second smallest market behind Green Bay. It's Western New York. Kansas City, Middle America, strong following there. Same with the Bills. And the Bills maybe have a little national appeal. But you have Josh Allen and Pat Mahomes. Pat Mahomes won an MVP. He's won a Super Bowl. Josh Allen is right there, right on the cusp. And he has been as hot as any quarterback in the NFL. And so that's doing a huge, huge number. Heck, it's overtime. 25 points in the last 2 minutes. People are captivated by this stuff. And so I thought it was important to open up with this and talk about it. Because as we sit here and all these other leagues and everyone else tries to figure out why football is what it is and why the NFL does what it does and, why they get all these numbers and why they make so much money, the proof is in the pudding. It's easy to see when you sit there and watch on a Saturday and Sunday afternoon. The divisional round may have given us the best 4 games in any stretch that you're going to have over any 2-day period in all of sport. Like, those were absolutely fantastic, and they had big names, and they were all different, high scoring, low scoring, elements, no elements, whatever. They had it all, had the intrigue, had the excitement, and it had the names. And this is what the NFL is doing better than anybody. And so they have all these unique quarterbacks, and we'll get into this in the next episode a lot. And I'm excited to talk about it, just the pathway of all these different quarterbacks and how they ultimately got here. And if this was foreseen, because we've got some of the great young quarterbacks, especially in the AFC right now. If you talk about Pat Mahomes, talk about Josh Allen, Talk about Joe Burrow. Talk about Justin Herbert. Throw Lamar Jackson in there. Curious to see where Deshaun Watson ends up and lands. But you think about those guys and what they're going to do and how they'll be able to change the face and the landscape of the NFL in years to come. I mean, it is a action-packed, dynamite, young crop of players. That's what people are here to see. Much to the chagrin of this defensive guy, people care about the quarterbacks, and that's a big deal.